Hitting rock bottom feels like the end, but what if it's actually the beginning? What if everything that broke you was setting the stage for your greatest transformation? When life knocks you down, you have two choices: stay there or rise. And rising begins with self-discovery. The reason so many people struggle to rebuild after failure, heartbreak, or loss is that they don't know where to begin. They try to fix the external, chasing success, relationships, or validation without ever looking inward. But the only way to truly rise is by answering the three eye-opening questions that reveal your hidden self. The first question is the foundation of everything. Who are you when no one is watching? Most people have spent their lives being what others expect them to be. They wear masks at work, in relationships, even with their own families. But when the world is silent, when there's no applause, no judgment, no pressure, who remains? The version of you that exists in those quiet moments is the real you. And if you don't know that person, it's time to meet them, because you cannot rebuild your life on a false identity. Think about the things that light your soul on fire. Not what impresses others, not what you think you should want, but what genuinely excites you. What would you do if fear wasn't in the way? Who would you be if you weren't trying to please anyone? Happiness, success, and fulfillment don't come from following a script. They come from living as your truest self. And that self has been buried under expectations for too long. The second question demands honesty. What pain are you holding on to that no longer serves you? Everyone has wounds. Some are fresh, some are decades old. Pain, if left unprocessed, becomes part of your identity. It shapes your beliefs, your fears, your decisions. But here's the truth. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not the person they hurt, betrayed, or abandoned. You are the person who has the power to rise from it. Think about what you're still carrying. Is it anger, guilt, a story you keep telling yourself about why you're not good enough? Whatever it is, ask yourself, how is this serving me? If holding on to it keeps you stuck, then it's time to release it. Healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means deciding that your past will no longer control your future. Imagine how much lighter, how much freer you would feel if you finally let go. The third question is the ultimate wake-up call. If today were your last day, would you be proud of how you lived? It's easy to believe we have more time, to wait until we're ready, until conditions are perfect. But perfection is an illusion, and time is not guaranteed. If your story ended today, would it be the one you wanted to tell? Or would you have regrets, the dreams left unfulfilled, the love left unspoken, the risks left untaken? Stop waiting. There is no better time than now to become the person you were meant to be. Strength doesn't come from never falling. It comes from rising every time you do. And the moment you decide to stop being a prisoner of your past and start living for the present, you become unstoppable. Your pain is not your identity. Your failures are not your future. And your time is not over. In fact, it's just beginning. So ask yourself again, who are you when no one is watching? What pain are you holding on to? And if today were your last day, would you be proud? The answers to these questions will change everything, because once you know who you truly are, what you need to release, and how you want to live, nothing can stop you. Not your past, not your fears, not your doubts. This is your moment. Your time is now. Rise. Every great transformation begins with a single decision. The decision to no longer be defined by your past. Too many people stay trapped in cycles of pain and regret because they believe their past, mistakes, failures, or heartbreaks determine their future. But the truth is, the past only has power over you if you let it. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become. And that choice starts with understanding yourself on the deepest level. The first question, who are you when no one is watching, is the foundation of everything. Most people live their entire lives as reflections of what others expect of them. They seek approval, follow rules, and shape themselves to fit into molds that were never made for them. But if you strip away all the expectations, who remains? If there were no fear of judgment, no pressure to be successful in society's eyes, what would you do? What would your life look like? Until you answer this question, you will always feel lost, because happiness cannot exist without authenticity. The second question: what pain are you holding on to that no longer serves you? Forces you to confront the emotional weight you've been carrying. Pain, if left unhealed, becomes part of your identity. It dictates your choices, your relationships, your self-worth. But here's what most people don't realize. The past only hurts you if you keep reliving it. What would happen if you stopped repeating the same story of heartbreak, betrayal, or failure? What if, instead of seeing yourself as a victim of your circumstances, you saw yourself as a warrior who has survived them? Letting go doesn't mean pretending the past never happened. It means choosing to no longer let it define you. Think about it. Every time you replay an old wound in your mind, you give it new life. Every time you hold on to resentment, you keep yourself in emotional chains. Imagine how freeing it would be to release it all, to wake up one day and realize that the pain that once consumed you no longer has control over you. That is when true power begins. The third question: if today were your last day, would you be proud of how you lived? Is the ultimate test of whether you are truly living or just existing. Too many people sleepwalk through life, waiting for the perfect moment to pursue their dreams, to tell someone they love them, to take a leap of faith. But the perfect moment doesn't exist. And if you keep waiting, life will pass you by. If your time were to run out tomorrow, what would you wish you had done differently? What risk would you wish you had taken? What words would you wish you had spoken? Regret is the heaviest burden of all. It is not the things we tried and failed at that haunt us. It's the things we never dared to do. The opportunities we let slip away. The moments we took for granted. But here's the beautiful truth. As long as you are still breathing, you have time to change your story. It is never too late to rewrite your future, to become the person you were meant to be. The only thing stopping you is fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of stepping outside the comfort zone you've built for yourself. But let me tell you something, fear is a liar. It whispers that you are not enough, that you will never succeed, that you should play it safe. But what has playing it safe ever given you? Has it made you truly happy, or has it kept you small, unfulfilled, and longing for something more? The only way to overcome fear is to take action in spite of it, to stop waiting, to start living. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of stepping outside the comfort zone you've built for yourself. But let me tell you something, fear is a liar. It whispers that you are not enough, that you will never succeed, that you should play it safe. But what has playing it safe ever given you? Has it made you truly happy, or has it kept you small, unfulfilled, and longing for something more? The only way to overcome fear is to take action in spite of it, to stop waiting, to start living. So let me ask you again, who are you when no one is watching? What pain are you holding on to? And if today were your last day, would you be proud? These questions hold the key to your future. The answers will shake you, challenge you, and force you to see yourself in a new light. But once you confront them, once you embrace the truth they reveal, you will never be the same. Because you are stronger than your past, you are bigger than your fears, and you are meant for more than just surviving. You are meant to thrive. Your time is not over. Your story is not finished. You are just getting started. The only question is, will you take the first step?